Dance all, I mean everything.
First of all, welcome to Bar for Bar TV. It's an honor to have you here. Black Magic,
Yes, sir.
aka or slash Don Juan Studio, engineers, representatives, and guys from the very early stages. Am I right to say that, right? The very early stages?
Early years.
All right. Now, I wasn't able to do, as you know, it's very short notice, but I wasn't able to do a lot of research, but I tried to do a little background into Don Juan Studio, how it formed, how it created, and so on. Now I see Donald Moody and his wife. Am I correct in saying this is what? Sonia, correct.
Yeah.
She was from the age of 16 a part of Studio One.
Yes.
I was heavily involved in Studio One. And it was when herself and Donna moved to New York that they created or opened up Coxsone Music City. That's what I'm realizing. Now, my question to you guys is this the same Coxsone Music City that is in Fulton Street in Brooklyn?
No.
It's a different one, right?
I believe it's
a different one. Okay, cool,
so.
cool. Okay. And then just to fast forward and bring it up to speed, you guys can tell me at what point you guys would have come into the picture, right? Don Juan created an album, The Sound of Brooklyn.
Don Juan created many albums.
Okay,
many.
Can we say that was the first album? Is that fair to say?
I couldn't be too 100%
sure
on that.
Okay.
But I know that was definitely one of the early ones.
It was one of the early ones.
Definitely more.
Okay.
He did a lot. I mean, he produced albums with Dennis Brown.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? One of Dennis Brown's last albums, Don Juan was involved in that. You know.
Hence the reason LP have so much. Big up part of you. What am I on that? But during that time, Don Juan Studio was a label, so to speak, and producing reggae tracks and music, so to speak. The dub cutting hadn't yet come in. Am I right?
That was a little later on down the line, but he did producing. He did albums. He had artists, you know, Tekatelli.
Right.
You know, Sluggy was around.
Aye.
Major Son was around.
Okay.
Daddy Mark. I mean, it's so many. Plenty
artists.
All kind of different artists. We work with all from everywhere, all over the place.
Was Frankie Paul the first artist to cut the dub in the studio?
Frankie Paul was the first?
I was watching a little clip.
Nah. Don't know about that one. Don't know about that one.
Okay.
What we need to really set up a real Black Magic with Don Juan interview.
Which true. That would be
perfect, because a lot of the stuff, he's a historian. He's a walking encyclopedia, almanac. Like there are things that, even though I could say like I was there, you know, from the start, like, you know, when the studio was actually open, there's still so much more history from even before me.
That,
you know what I mean? That even like this little thing here, this doesn't even do real justice to Don Juan's history.
Right.
Because a lot of times when people say Don Juan, they just think, you know, just that little studio there. But there's a whole lot more to it, but man.
Yeah,
a whole lot more.
Yeah, true.
But the highlight that everybody knows is Don Juan and the studio and all the dub cutting that went on in the 90s.
Yeah.
You know, all the sounds that, you know,
yes, definitely.
Yeah. You know what I mean?
Was Africa heavy influence in the early stages of the dub cutting?
Yes.
Yeah, Africa, definitely.
Africa, Addis.
Yeah, tell me something.
LP, Bertrula.
Right.
Fergo Digital. I mean, Downbeat.
Oh, the
And
ruler.
once you're in New
Yes.
Stereosonic, Spectrum,
You can't forget that.
Yeah,
you know
man,
what I mean? Once
respect.
you, and it's not even New York per se, once you were into dancehall, dub cutting, sound clash, once you were in that culture, you know about that one.
Yeah,
And you got
definitely.
music from that one. Whether you in Florida, whether you could imagine sounds in Jamaica,
Mm.
used to send to get music cut at that one.
Yeah, exactly.
So
Because from what I understand, the quality was superior, and people
Yes.
wanted that sound, you know, and they weren't
Yes.
getting it out of Jamaica. Apparently, I think Mr. Moody was saying that it was the equipment. He had top of the line equipment at the time.
He invested greatly in it.
You
He
see?
invested greatly in it, and it's not even so much the equipment. It was a lot of it. Well, that did play a part in it, but a lot of it was the people who operated the equipment.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you
Yeah, I
had
know how
Anthony,
to
the
use
dub
it too.
cutter, you had Bill, the engineer,
Mm.
and the one person who kind of held everything together, Scarface, the engineer. He did a
Right.
lot of the programming and the actual mixing down of the dubs, so that you know, it sent a voice a song, regardless of who it was.
Right.
You know what I mean? He would record the track and he would put a mix down on the song so that when you played it back and you listened to it, it was full of vibes.
Right, definitely.
Right? And I get to say the best ever in the US doing that. And don't get me wrong, there are a lot of good studios
Right,
out there,
right.
but there was nothing compared to that one and the way Scarface mixed down your songs, the way he voiced your songs. It's that simple. I say that with no apology.
Respect. Respect. Tell me some of your favorite moments from that time. And in terms of artists in the studio, you know, vibing with them, voicing with them, you must have some memorable moments.
There's too many to count.
Too many?
Too many to count.
Yeah.
Because what I look at and reflect on is that, you know, when we used to go to the studio, it was such a common thing to see artists. I didn't even really think about it.
Right.
You know what I mean? You go to the studio on any given
Yeah,
day and
true.
Major Mackerel is there, Nitty Kutchi is there, Boom Dandy Mike is there.
Yeah.
You know, even the local Sluggy, local guys. You know, it's like, you know, you see them, they're like family.
Right.
Your homies, your friends, you know, you share lunch, and you know, we chill. And it's not until like later on down the line, it's like, damn, you know, like Sleep in Peace, Sluggy's not here, you know, Boom Down the Line. It's like, well, then you really start to think about like, damn, you know, I was around these guys.
Yeah.
You know,
it's like it was just the other day you hear him.
Yeah, and then you hear the music playing in the dance.
For the first time, I broke down building and yeah, true, man.
Yeah.
True.
And when you hear the songs playing the dance and you see people playing in there going crazy, like, hey, like, I mean, I was cool with that guy. That's my guy, you know?
Mm.
So, I mean, we did, I would say one of the memorable moments. Yeah. As Black Magic and King Addies brought the sound out in front of Don Juan.
Okay, but before we get there, let's talk about how you guys started to work with the studio and how you became like the sound representing the studio. And the early stages, what were they like? Building the dubs. I guess it was easy for you guys. Like all the artists are right there, right? They're right there.
It has some misconception. I mean,
okay. You see?
Yeah, we were always around.
Yeah.
But it's not like we were just there and we just got free songs.
Yeah, you still have to do it.
Something you still we may not have had to have probably paid but there were times where we had to pay more. There were times where we had to pay. You know what I mean? It just is what it is.
Yeah,
you know, every relationship with an artist is different, regardless of you being the studio engineer or the studio son or whatever. Sometimes it didn't even matter.
Right.
But it did have its benefits. But I mean, you know, we ended up becoming the Don Juan sound because the sound, I was on the sound, we were on the sound. First of all, the sound started in '89, right? Started with Mikey Magic, started the song in '89, right? I was a member of the sound. We had some other people involved in the sound. So say maybe not even too long after that, say like 90, Scarface joined the sound. And he was the engineer at Don Juan.
Right.
So Mikey ended up, you know, getting into his little stuff. And then Scarface ended up taking over the sound. And once he took over the sound, of course, it's going to go right down to Don Juan. That became the home base for the sound.
Yeah, man, sure.
So from there, that's where everything started, and everything just started to correlate.
And you were in the sound from the beginning?
Day one. Day one.
So, cutting dubs back in that time, I think we could say what we would call that like analog.
That analog board.
Okay.
Yeah, it was analog board you used. Sometimes you cut dubs and you're voicing it directly onto the actual dub plate, as opposed to, now they do it. They have with the Pro Tools, where you could chop and punch and
right.
And it was a thing where the artists, some majority of the artists, them, once you start, it's one take, no mistakes, no nothing, just right through. And if you made a mistake, it's just what it is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I mean, it was simple. There you go, one shot, one kill.
Speaking of which, Don Juan was the first studio to have a dub pressing machine in the States.
I'm not 200 on that one.
No,
I'm not 200 if it was the.
But you definitely were one of the one of the main stops for pressing on wax.
Yeah,
correct.
For sure.
Okay.
That one boy,
Do you guys have that machine?
Yes, he still has it.
So if I have a dub and I want to press it on wax, I can come to New York and get it done.
Yes.
Yeah, I've always wanted to do that as a song. Because I still have crates. I still have my records, so I
still can. Now, of course, the machine has to service and stuff like that.
Right.
He still has.
But it's possible.
Yeah, of course. Everything is still there.
All right.
Once you're doing that, that's what you're doing.
Exactly.
What's your love?
I agree.
Yeah.
So tell me about the first couple dances, first clash. Who is your first opponent?
First clash.
If you can remember. Yeah, it's quite some time.
I would have to say it was a sound named Melotex.
Melotex.
If I remember correctly.
Do you remember what year, roughly? And maybe the venue where it was?
Are you trying to
Starlight Ballroom? I don't know.
Give away my age?
I just hear these names, I don't know.
No, this was actually before Starlight Ballroom. No, this was actually if I'm not mistaken, it was in a club in Queens. It's a club in Queens. We did we had a few clashes before actually. So I know the big name is Biltmore Ballroom. That's the big name. That's where a lot of those historical clashes were. But in that same area, you also had, like you said, Starlight. You had Flamingo, Tilden Ballroom, Trinity Hall. There was a lot of other places, but Biltmore was that's where all those big dances were, big clashes.
Was the Amazura of the 90s?
No, Amazura is later on down the line.
No, that's what I mean, of that time.
Well,
because I kind of think like it's kind of got that.
I honestly, in my opinion, for those who know, yes. Well, now yes, Amazura is having the big clashes, but actually, once Biltmore closed down, there was another spot. Albany Manor,
yes.
I think they had, and you got to think about it, there was a lot of other
classes. It was 2012, was it 2012? Yeah, Albany Manor is true.
There were a lot of places. I mean, you had CPAC before that.
CPAC, yeah.
But in terms of like the amount of clashes
and
the importance of the classes,
Okay.
I would
Okay.
say
Okay.
Albany Manor was kind of a little closer to Biltmore than.
Okay.
Because there were
Okay.
other big
Okay.
clashes in other
Okay.
clubs, but overall, in totality, Albany Manor would kind of be. Yeah.
Is it still around, Alvin Manor? They close
No.
it down.
Goes on. They knocked down the building. I think they're putting an apartment building there now.
Not surprised.
Yeah.
New York, New York. Oh man. So then, some legendary clashes that you can remember, and some difficult opponents.
For Magic?
Was it really such?
For me, it's Jaro. Yeah, we clashed Jaro in 1996. Yeah, and it wasn't supposed to be a clash. It was supposed to be. It was about four local sounds, and then Jaro was supposed to be the headliner. And at that time, Jaro was killing everybody. So we actually had a plan.
And this is the Trooper Jaro?
Yeah, Trooper.
Trooper. Serial killer.
Yeah. So we actually had a plan. We thought it was a plan.
Right.
With the other sounds, when we reach, I'm gonna rush him because I make him, reach us over, make it feel like everything is cool. And well, safe to say, you had the early warm sound, and then Jaro played. Well, we had the early warm sound, and then everybody else backed out. Nobody else wanted to play because they knew what our plan was. So Jaro ended up playing, and then after that, we played. I want to tell you, say, Bo, first 3, 4 tune, you couldn't tell us nothing. Shell the place, turn over the place, played our round, and then Jaro turned on. And that was pretty much the end of our night. Because you already know. But I mean, it's from beginning right down to the end, all the way to tune for tune. I mean, every single song I could possibly play in my dub box, I played that night. You know what I mean? Just to say, yeah, we reach all the way to the nighttime or morning, we're tune for tune with Jaro, whatever it is.
Yeah, true.
You know what I mean? But we had a lot of good clashes. It was another place in the city, Harlem Karate Center. Black Magic, Stereo 5, Shashamani. We had a lot of good clashes. We've clashed with One Posse, Young Lock, like I said, Jaro.
When was your last clash?
Our last clash was, I believe it was, when was the Magnum? Last year? We were in the Magnum clash in Jamaica.
True.
I think that was.
You guys flew down for that?
Well, I made one of them, but we have a squad out there that was dealing with it.
Okay.
Yeah.
True.
I think it was last year. Either last year or year before that.
No, it was last year.
It was last year? Last year. Old boy, can't remember everything.
True, I feel you.
That was last year.
I feel you.
That was last year.
How do y'all feel about the AI coming into the dub situation?
I'm a traditionalist, so you already know.
Yeah, definitely. It's like splicing. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean...
Do you think it will bring the business down? I mean, if everybody starts cutting AI dubs, do you think there'll come a point where nobody links the artist for any anymore?
Well, I mean... yeah, it's possible. I mean, with some of the price that the artists charge, they're sending people that direction anyway. But I'd rather it be that than
authentic.
yeah. If we are to move away from actually like voicing dub or voicing, I'd rather it be that we just choose not to do it as opposed to some tool comes in that says, all right, we don't need them, we can do this artificially. I mean, I'm definitely not a fan of that. Because then, like you said, the authenticity of it is gone. We're already kind of losing a little bit of it here and there with 8,000 rules and so nah, AI. I'm sorry. But there are a lot of people who will be a fan of it.
Yeah.
I'm just not one of them.
Have you heard of any instances where it's being used already? I swear somebody said a Diana Ross or something like that.
I can't.
I don't know. I personally haven't heard any yet.
Look, I can't say officially, but I've heard a couple of things that I'm like,
suspect.
All right, I've been in the game too long to
fall for
on
that.
Now.
Yeah, I feel you.
So it's out there. It's there. People are trying.
Yeah.
People are definitely.
One of the ways I think we should incorporate it into Sound Clash is that if you're going to use AI, the person has to be there. So therefore, we know it's AI when we hear it. That's one of the things I
know we
thought
just
about.
not use it.
But the reality is going to be used.
Yeah.
Because niggas can't be trusted. You know what I mean? So that's why I'm kind of like, you know what? How can we twist it around and try and make it creative? Okay, you can play Tupac. Dub. Because he's dead. So we know it's got to be AI. You see where I'm coming from? Where I'm trying to be creative with it?
Yeah, but you know, I think it depends. It depends on who does it too. Because you will have some people. Well, all right, let's just take Magic for instance. We've been in from 80 to whatever, right?
Right.
Let's say I drop a Tupac or a Biggie dub. I'm from Brooklyn. I've been around for Lord knows, so it's possible.
Right.
You know what I mean? So there are some people who
just had that,
a long time them I've got to know.
Yes.
You know, so it depends. But if you know my sound just started in, I'm only a 5-year-old sound and I'm playing Tupac.
Yeah.
But you know,
it's true.
And I mean, people do that with voiceover artists too. Anyway, now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's true. Yeah.
So you can't. I mean, listen. Principle is principle. Is either you have it or you don't have it.
Yeah, I agree.
And that's the main thing about it. You know, if you have principle, then I don't have to worry about AI when it comes to you.
Yeah.
That's just how I see it. That's
true.
You have it, so
yeah.
it is what it is.
Yeah, it's true.
I mean, you definitely want to get a good interview with Dan Wanda.
Speaking of which, so when I step back up to the New York side, I definitely have to arrange this interview. You guys Bedford Avenue, Brooklyn, is that correct?
Bedford and Albemarle.
Right at the con.
Bedford and Albemarle.
Respect.
Listen, when you listen to some of Buju dubs, you mention Bedford, Albemarle.
That's what
that's the same area.
Respect. Yeah. I gotta do some more time in Brooklyn when I come up there.
Yeah.
Because Brooklyn is the real Sound Clash.
Rich history.
Yeah.
Rich history.
Definitely.
Yeah. I mean, I think everybody kind of had their Biltmore at that time. You know, even though, because a lot of times people say Biltmore in the 90s, they just think Brooklyn, New York. But, you know, Florida had their version of Biltmore, like Canada had their version of Biltmore. I think Biltmore speaks more to like the culture, the type of music that was played, the way the music was played.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because it was a culture. You know, it was a lifestyle.
Yeah, definitely.
You know what I mean? So I think that Biltmore speaks to that.
Always clash. Like the dance started as juggling dances, and at the end might have ended up a clash.
Right.
That's true too. People always, when you say Biltmore, they only think Clash, but
right.
Biltmore was those same sounds, the LPs, Addies, Earth Rulers, Black Magic, Stereosonic, Spectrums, Thunderbolt. We were all in there juggling from whenever it was, Wednesday, Thursday, whatever night, right down to Sunday. It's just that at a certain time, I remember what you said earlier. You know what I mean? And then you got to defend yourself. So because everybody was in the dance for the juggling, and they saw what happened at the end of the night, when it was time for the one-on-one, everybody came back to see the one-on-one. It wasn't divided into juggling sound, clash sound. If you're a sound, you're a sound. So I think that people don't realize the Biltmore culture speaks more to that than just, Biltmore in Brooklyn with all the war dances.
Yeah, clash.
You know what I mean?
Respect. Respect.
Yeah.
Last thing I was gonna ask you is, do you agree with the statement that sound clash is dead?
It's a loaded question. That's a tricky question. I think certain aspects of it are kind of, you know, I mean, this is just my opinion, how I see it. Like I was saying, with the sound thing, it was everybody was all there together. You know what I mean? It didn't matter. Okay, so all of us was juggling, and Black Magic and Thunderbolt, we got into an argument. So we had a little beef at the end of the night, flinging dub. Then we had a one-on-one clash, and then everybody came out to the clash.
Right, because of the rivalry that was built.
Right. So those same people who were in the juggling dance were in the clash. So yes, Black Magic had their fans there. Yes, Thunderbolt had their fans there. But Addy's fans were there. LP's fans were there. Earth Ruler's fans were there. Everybody was there to see the clash.
Right.
Nowadays, it's like you have, a sound clash, and there would be very few fans of sound clash there. There would be more fans of that sound and then fans of that sound with a few sprinkles. So a lot of those people that came out to see those two sounds perform, when there was a following clash the following week, none of them were there because their sound wasn't there. So I think in that aspect, sound clash culture is kind of because there's less support for the overall song. It's just like, all right, I like this sound, right, and that's it. I just want to see those guys. You know what I mean? So in the kind of a way, yeah, but no, because we still a go voice, tune still a voice, dub still a cut, sound still a clash,
and dance still a ram. Look at last night.
Last night, perfect example. Good clash last night. Great clash. Yeah. Good turnout. Good vibes.
Yeah.
Different vibes. Different vibes. Very enjoyable. All of the songs did good last night.
Definitely.
I can't even say, I wouldn't even say anybody flat last night. Nobody flat last night. It's just the other songs got more forward than that song.
Right. Exactly.
That's all it was.
Yeah.
Everybody played good.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. I really enjoyed it. It was a good clash.
Yeah. And that actually kind of looked like how it was back in the day, where you have fans of sound clash.
Right.
You know what I mean?
As opposed to Interceptor fans or Northern Light fans. Because they never been there before, so they didn't have any.
So like in a lot of classes, you would see 6 sounds. The dance wouldn't be full.
Right.
But because Unruly has a lot of fans, it would be like about, say, 100 people in there. 60 of them are Unruly fans.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's right. Now we gotta do our
but next time I come to New York, definitely we're gonna schedule it.
Yeah, do a real, you know?
Yeah, I could do some proper research, dig in the craze, you know what I mean?
Who call my uncle right now? See if him answer the phone. Wait a minute. I'm asking the question he asked me. Who is it? Ah!
Down one.
That one.
Yeah.
What's going on, man?
Yeah.
Where? They take it easy in our call.
Yeah.
Oh.
So the command.
Oh, sorry to hear that. But they are Antigua right now, you know.
Yeah, where do? What class?
Yeah, we go a clash last night.
Wow.
We go a clash last night. Taurus, Interceptor, and couple other songs. Yeah, Taurus from Trinidad.
Oh.
Nah, I know him. One song from Trinidad. They are, yeah, bad. King Warrior, Unruly.
Maximilian and the man, the part.
Yeah, a long time Trini sound. Yeah, man.
You see him done bass and it's back for a night, you know. Yeah, man, so you know.
I tell you, the man,
Yeah, play bass and this kind of man. You know, the whole of the man big food them.
they loaded, bro. They loaded.
Yeah.
Man, I sit down with one brother here, so I chat to me about that one studio, and a big question him have for me.
How that?
No, it's one you to do a little
Bar for Bar TV.
simmer from Bar for Bar TV. A little they talk the songs and artists and entertainers and they get histories. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
It's very, very interesting. One set up an interview, we can talk to you. Just a little,
Yeah. Why
Yeah.
man want to do that?
By June, July.
By June, July.
Oh, they will come and do that?
Yes.
Yeah, come on, New York.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man. Good you, man.
And cut something in the
Yeah,
studio
but
one
then we
time.
could have fly back and the studio around good. That cutting machine actually picks up about now.
Tell you, me tell them all of that. Me say yeah. Me tell them all of that. Me say if you want get your dub cut, you can go straight to down one.
Yeah. When them come, see that.
Yeah.
Come on, chop on. I'll wait for me, you know, for cut up, you know.
Yeah, cause they still, you see, they still a little true to the culture, cause they still play the dub plate them.
Okay, so the boy you work, man, them not today, they could up, that certain time in the man, I just final, you know. You can't go in the way of the computer, you know, just final.
Yes. Yes.
So Don, may I ask you a question?
Yeah.
You did have the first cutting machine in New York?
No, man, you forgot about Roddy, man.
Roddy's.
From 34th Street, man, where everybody is about.
Yeah.
I Roddy was the premier man with that, man.
With the dub cutting, and then you forward and after.
Yeah, from you open the closing door.
As it is Frankie Paul cut first.
Frankie Paul was the first artist to cut a dub at your studio?
No.
Me know you tell me, but me forget to know. Me know you tell me.
Junior Demus.
Yeah, I know you.
That name they come up to.
Yeah.
Junior Demus, I don't want to make me start cut up, because come to me every man like a foreign song, like a Trinidad, and I want the island sound that come on miss. Me don't want super poor there. And I come to me about cut up, he said, look at the taco. So special man, yeah. So Junior Demus make me buy turntable. I mean, I know nothing about no special thing. So, just buy a 1200 right away and hook it up and just start bringing it. Remember the recordings to come in the version on the back?
Yeah.
Yeah, we just play it and vice in the same time. And it started work out with it. Then the next man who come in now was Frankie Dancehall Paul.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Frankie Dancehall Paul, and then the crew started build up now.
Right.
Yeah.
But them could all say Frankie Paul first, because Frankie was the big
No.
name.
Junior Demus.
No, we know that, but like when people talk about it, true Frankie Paul was like the bigger artist. Them only a free Frankie Paul, you know what I'm saying?
The man who made me start cut dubplate was Afric Sound.
Yeah.
We had a cutting machine, but we never cut no dub. And them come in, you remember when Shabba do them bow?
Yeah.
Them bow. Yeah, him come cut them bow with Shabba. So I'm going to pay me smooth for this period of time. I see the machine on the ask her, smooth with the machine for. And she said, you cut masters. She said, then you can't cut dog masters, you can't cut dog. And she said, yes. But Dan don't want no dog cut on the machine. And she fuck Dan. Don't cut a dog today. So, but we never there, you know. So when we come back now, in dance for the Friday night with Africa, Freddie Digital and Earth Ruler in a Biltmore. So when we never cut it down, because we work late. So the morning, when we go on a Fergie, you know, run a Brooklyn Avenue, when we go to a restaurant, yeah, he start pushing. I said, oh, blood clot, do make a free come cut up. And run by you, and you tell me come up now, come cut up and kill the last night. I said, no, more that.
So technically, you never cut the first dub, and Miss Mooney make the first dub cut up that.
No, we cut the first dub, yes. Me there and couldn't cut it. I run it up and cut it. But when
why
them
you never
going
want to
on,
go
the
cut
dub so clean to the dance, everybody started recording him dirty long enough.
He was just into doing the masters, just regular album work.
It's a white paper, it's a tape them put on that mat in funny.
Yeah, he never
and
really.
Like a Fergie and Earth Ruler with it cleaned up.
Yeah.
So wait, and from this on now, we have to start cut up now because I feel feeling start carrying.
Yeah, and see the little white label with that one and I said, wait, you get that.
Yeah. So, me never have no regrets. I will never have no regrets of cutting dog. Because a dog build me.
Respect.
Dog always build the studio. Make everybody in the world know about the studio.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everybody, yeah. But me not go start back to the special business.
Gotta get that
like all if Frankie Paul, like all if Lucian and Glenn Washington come on the dog, maybe the dog, but they sitting down and no, fuck that.
Yeah, so you're not, yeah, you tell me all the while. You're not really walking back up to every, you understand?
Right.
Just select.
From overseas,
you can't get no dog cut them. I ain't worried about that. I ain't worried about that.
Me don't dog business. When you cut the artist, all kind of bad man come sit on your place, you know?
Yeah, that was the other part of the studio thing that.
I know why I can't get on tell me some boy down. Boy, I know you used to go through. But I don't know you alone English.
Yeah.
That's soldier.
Yeah, it's rough. It's rough. It is rough.
It's rough, man. And then when we bring in Scarface now, it is a different thing with Scarface and Richie Tech now because they couldn't go home, you know.
Yeah. Because they created an order, yeah.
Oh yeah. And then every Friday night, the man them start carrying me go dance. On Saturday night, we was on foot. One of the go dance.
Yeah, man.
It was a nice trip, you know.
Dan, you ever come to Antigua?
No.
Wow.
One island never go.
Off about TV mailing that film.
Okay. Well, we got to bring out here, Dan. I tell you.
Yeah.
You would love it. It's so relaxing and nice and laid back.
To me, you're nice. To me, your Grenada nice, karate, you know.
Yeah.
True.
Your Grenada nice. My friend come and say, God damn, boy.
Well, we're going to start with Antigua first.
Yeah, Grenada don't have no sound culture.
No, I don't think so, you know.
Yeah,
You remember if I cut a finish on a Grenada then?
Probably not. If you cut a sound, you might cut a sound for a Grenadian person. We're dep on a sound.
No.
But
You know who have the most sound? Which island have the most sound?
whoa.
I would say Antigua.
Guyana have the most sound?
Hey, you look at man, said most of the Guyana man, you should have sound and go and come back, man.
The Guyana have more sound here, but then island-wise, Guyana don't really call as an island too tough. When you say island and
well, you know what? But even though Guyana technically they're from South America. They're considered part of the Caribbean.
Right.
So even though, regardless of the
Correct.
location,
Correct.
we consider them as one of us. So we consider them as an island.
Yeah,
Correct.
but me
You know what I'm saying?
never gone that far. We consider Ghana as one of our island too, you know?
Yeah, we consider them one of us, as one of our islands. So we include the Guyana and everything.
They take the cake there.
Yeah.
Remember one of the time,
Very
you know,
big
I
too.
them run the sound thing up here, you know. As island youth, you know, because all of them are sound. From Manhattan, Brooklyn, all about.
Yeah, there were a lot of Guyanese songs.
All for Guyanese sound.
A lot.
Yeah, man.
Yes,
And most of them money they are Guyana now, you know.
Yeah.
Because some of them get deported and them come back home and sound.
First class was Guyanese, right?
Yes,
Yeah, GT Hi-Fi.
Only for Guyanese sound, man.
Yeah.
You can't go that wrong front one.
Yeah, I remember First Class.
Yes.
Okay, and of course, no Stereosonics.
Every time you got in it. No.
All right, okay. We keep that information to yourself, you know.
Yeah, we talk about no idea.
Keep that to yourself.
See the rest where we come up.
Yeah. Yeah, Dan, we definitely got to set up this interview, cause
yes,
it must some you know.
Yeah, but and that's
serious, and
it's 30 minutes.
The interview that nice to do, cause people don't know to the studio I shot again, you know.
Yeah, definitely.
Respect.
You know, my friend want to carry me to Bermuda. My friend don't want to carry me. My friend want to cut up the man want to carry me to Bermuda till him shot. He want to carry me to Bermuda.
Okay.
Bermuda have a whole good sound, you know.
Do you guys have any studio or anything like that out here?
For cutting dubs?
For cutting dubs, for anything, voicing?
Many. But definitely not to press.
Oh, you don't have nothing to press?
But definitely you can cut a dub. Many studios. Many studios. Yeah.
I don't like music that few studio don't to set up.
Remember, it's not like before. Laptop, mic.
Yeah, laptop and mic. Okay.
A laptop them up. No, we don't want to see them.
Yeah.
A room them there, a bedroom them there.
Yeah.
Bedroom. All they need is the backseat of a car, you know.
Yeah, them thing there, you know.
Yeah.
That's why the people are complaining now, so they don't sound good again.
The quality not there.
Them don't have no quality, no body.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know, man, beg me to start cut back up. Someone beg me to start record back up.
Well, me don't tell them already when it comes to that, you was number one.
Yeah.
Quality, everything.
Yeah,
between the quality and between the way Scarface mixed down the song, them number one.
Hey, I told them I listen one original vibe dub.
Yes, sir.
Robin my guy, who's kind of advice don't speak. I record that.
Yeah.
That sound like record. Who keep me tell them man? I said, wow.
Quality.
And all one of the studio do room no me that song. One of them song.
Yeah. Yeah, man, I tell them about the Black Party when we bring the sound out in front.
Oh my
and
God!
War these.
I just start the ball rolling, you know.
Yeah, hey, Dan, who bust Dan one to the world?
Scarface, Black Magic.
Okay.
Scarface, man.
Because of that damn Black Party.
Dan, what go on, Dan?
You know who that?
What go on?
No.
You don't know who that is? Who you think that is?
I want to think that.
What go on? Yeah. I done one interview. Well, it's really because you know anytime you say Black Magic, the first thing them say I done one, you know.
When them come up and get a good. I'm
definitely.
Yeah. Yeah, no problem. Yeah. So we link.
And we fly come to Antigua very shortly.
Yeah, we bring you
Yeah,
Antigua.
that done.
Get. It's a 4-hour flight, man.
Yeah, man.
Get. Oh, come on. Cut it out. Get your swim trunks ready, and we'll bring you Antigua. You go up on the beach and relax.
Yeah. I'm gonna mind America.
Alright, now, yo, we link. We link you back in a little bit.
Alright, good one, love.
Alright, done.
What your name, Derek?
Simmer. Bar for Bar TV.
Simmer.
Bar for Bar TV is the YouTube channel, and my name is Simmer.
Simmer down.
Yeah, way down to the ground. Respect.
Alright.
Yeah, man.
Alright, then we link you forward.
Alright, good.
Alright.
It's a real boss, that man.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, all those things. See, it's the vibe and the energy, man.
Mm-hmm.
But that's why when you say done one, you have to say black magic. It was
They say Black Magic, you have to say that.
have to. Yeah. You know, when you say done one studio, you gotta say Scarface. Because he
Yes.
cut them all of the song themselves. Enough of them. I mean, so it's like you can't stuck together for life.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
man.
You know what I mean? And yeah, like he said, Ruddy's was the first one to have it.
Oh, yeah.
But once he opened up and he started,
Took
it was a
over.
wrap.
Yeah.
It was a wrap. And then Juno, Scarface had the sound and rested down in the done one. You have an actual sound that's playing music. So we're out there and we're like, yeah, done one. And when we put the sound in front of the studio, it was almost like the coronation, like the grand opening for done one.
Right.
Even though it was there doing this thing and people were, it was like, all right, you know what? It's here and only here.
Mm-hmm.
The only way you would go somewhere else is if you just done one was just too packed, too full, then you just, freak, I'm gonna have to go do it somewhere else.
Yeah.
Not to say that those other places were bad,
Right.
they were great. Ruddy, Philip Smart, Sir Tommy's, you know what I mean? But Don Juan was Don Juan, yeah.
Yeah, that name
You know what I mean?
speak volume.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah. Remember that, man.
Well, guys, enough respect. I really appreciate you spending the time with Bar for Bar TV tonight.
No
We
problem.
will definitely link up across the waters, up in New York, Brooklyn to be exact. I love Brooklyn, but I don't get to spend enough time there sometimes, you know. But my links are getting strong up in the BK, so.
You know what? I do. You gotta make one more. I have to make one more call.
Yeah,
Yeah.
go for it.
God, you can't. God, with a.
What I make? Don, I can call him.
You gotta get an interview with him too.
Bar for Bar TV exclusive.
And you know what's funny? Him is a man who cuss me all the while when I answer my phone.
Yeah.
And him always say, yo.
Don't make call him and answer the phone.
Not even that.
Oh.
Him will say, yo. If a man.
What I'm saying? They might watch the
And he's the same man that would say, yo.
I couldn't.
That's what I'm thinking.
He watching the
What
Knicks.
season?
The Knicks in my watch.
Watch the Knicks.
Basketball, seeing pre-season.
No. Start.
Yeah?
Season start.
Yes.
February season start. So I'm gonna watch basketball. Yeah.
Nah, I'm saying.
I watch the game.
And he would tell me, he would say, yo, if a man say, yo, me give you $1 million if you call somebody and them not answer and you know say them not gonna answer, give you $1 million. He would always call my name.
Yeah.
Always call my name. I call him, I'm doing what I'm doing. I'm doing what I'm doing.
Yeah, man. Safe to do it.
Go to my watch again.
Say, alright, but
And so the Knicks don't even reach halfway in of the season.
Season for real.
it's a serious New York run.
Yeah, well, that's what happens when you live in
Yeah.
Brooklyn in New York.
Yep.
Knicks come first. Knicks before Knicks over everything.
True.
Knicks over everything.
I learned that very fast in New York. If people do not play with sports, don't wear any logo anywhere. It doesn't work like that, Simon.
Nah,
You know what I mean?
have
So
to be the Knicks.
yeah, definitely.
Yeah, man.
But guys, enough respect once again. We
No
definitely
All the
do
time.
another bigger and badder interview.
Man. When you come to Brooklyn.
Yeah, we fire 2 songs.
Yeah, you
When we walk with a laptop, we play 2 dub and then kind of with it.